Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I am Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
And I'm Mike Norfield with Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Home Care.
I was wondering if you were going to, it almost sounded like you were
a little.
paused, like
I
you were
did, just-
thinking about it.
Just to see if you would talk over me.
Yeah. No, I know better. I know. We got to put the whole spiel in there
That's right.
now. So we got to make sure everyone knows, who you are and what you do.
That's right.
Like, you've only been doing this now for 2 years, right? 2?
The podcast?
No, you've been on the podcast for 2 years. Yeah.
Been
right.
on the logo for one.
That's Woody's fault.
Hey, you just got to earn the logo. That's all I'm saying. We had to make sure you were going to be a lasting co-host, and then this part of the, it's part of the process.
Yeah. Now, but if you leave, he'll have you off like that.
I'll have you off by the end of the show.
That's all right.
By the end of the show.
I have a poster in my office that has my likeness on it, so I'm good.
Well, AI, you're out.
Yeah. So it's March. It's March already. It's crazy. We have a lot of, we were talking, I know I talk a lot about all the events we have and the things coming up and things for people to do. We have a lot of stuff in the next couple of months. And, I'll try and just do a quick recap of everything for people that are listening in. Of course, you can always go to cvabc.org and check out our events calendar. We put the stuff up there. And so that you can go on, and see for yourself what we have coming up. But we have a lot of networking opportunities for businesses. I'm big on networking.
Yeah.
I know we've talked
coffee
about
talks last week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of networking opportunities for businesses to get their name out, to come and talk to others. So we do have 3 coffee talks this month, one in Alta Vista, one in Roanoke, and one actually in Amherst, because we'll be at ITG. So it's more like Madison Heights, which is our Lynchburg one. And then we have 2 evening events. So 2 business off the clocks, which are, a little bit different. We had some of our members that were like, it's kind of hard for us to get out in the morning, easier for us to come after work. Yeah. So March 13th, we have one at Mission House Coffee in Cornerstone. And then we will be having one on the 18th, I believe, at the Appomattox Inn and Suites to kind of take over. We're shifting the coffee talk to an after hours in Appomattox this month. So, that's 5 ways to network.
Yeah.
Just to come out and network. And there's no cost to that. You just come out, hang out, have fun. Eat some snacks, drink some coffee.
Got 5 opportunities.
To not show up.
So.
5 opportunities for my wonderful crew to handle all that for me.
I hear you. We also have our Lead On Summit. So that is happening March 27th. So you're going to get your tickets to that. That's our full day business summit. We've got speakers that are coming in and talking about various topics. We've got of course, building authentic relationships and networking. We've got company culture, which Mike's going to be talking about.
Yeah.
We have somebody talking about AI and your business and how are you utilizing that into your marketing and, networking and all of, and, everything to do with AI. We have Ben Crosswhite. He's going to be speaking on health and wellness in the business place and, how you're not just taking care of your business, but how are you taking care of yourself and your employees.
Right.
So lots of really good topics to come out and includes breakfast, includes lunch, $75 for your ticket. So you're going to want to get those. We're already selling them. And it's at the Hilton Garden Inn on the 27th. So you want to get those. And then we have our upcoming Home and Garden Show happening April the 5th and 6th at River Ridge. So you're going to want to get a booth for that if you are in any type of home and garden field. If you do anything within the home, if you do anything on the exterior of the home, if you, are selling homes or you're lending for homes or I don't know, whatever you do, if you do anything,
Or fixing homes.
anything you want to do.
Or washing homes.
Yeah. So we're, if you want an indoor space, I definitely would contact us sooner rather than later because we have indoor, we have outdoor. But the indoor spaces are going pretty quickly. So it's going to have to trickle into the outdoor if you don't get one pretty soon. So we're going to have we have a stage area inside of the space that we're going to have people doing local talks throughout the day on various topics. So you'll be able to get more information off of that. We have a Facebook event page for that going up today. We've got advertising starting today. Our billboard started a couple days ago. We've got advertisements going out in different local magazines and things like that. So definitely going to want to get if you're not, so like, you know, if you're wanting to sell, you want to get a booth. If not, if you're even looking at getting something done to your home, and I hear people on the Lynchburg recommendations page, I see you every single day asking for recommendations for something. Come to this show, like come out, and you are going to have a plethora, my favorite word, of businesses. Yes, it does. That you can get information from. You can get, you know, estimates. You can sign up to have them come out and, you know, look at your home, or, you know, talk to them about maybe some of the things you need fixed up. If you're, you know, we're having it right here at the beginning of April, so you can get that work going in the spring. Maybe they're not coming out till the fall, but, you know, they're able to kind of get in there and get you on their calendars, because a lot of times these contractors, they're booked out. Like you can't just expect them to come the next day and get your work done. So, you know, this is a way to get in there. You're getting back that tax money. You want to make some upgrades. You want to do some things. This is where you're going to want to come. We also have some really cool giveaways. I've had some of our businesses that are signing up or giving away, you know, different things. We've got like it's a Remy. Is it one of those halo lights?
The halo lights.
Yeah.
Yep. Kills all the germs.
So we've got one of those. Persian Rugs and More is giving away up a whole Persian rug, not even a half of a rug, like a whole rug. Like it's a really cool Persian rug. They're going to be
like
giving
the
away.
On the floor that gets in the way of the chairs here.
Yeah, like this one. So Woody, you should come because you could win a better rug than this.
Get an
I'm just saying.
rug.
Oh man, my wonderful crew, they do such a good job by just being their way.
Yeah, so we're going to have like gift baskets. You know, we've got some businesses giving like just some gift baskets, and the CVABC is purchasing an item. I think we're going to be doing like a grill or something really cool to give away. So lots of fun opportunities to come out and get some information, win some cool prizes, and help us celebrate a home show coming back to this area. We haven't had one in 5 years, and we want to see this continue to grow and, you know, support our local contractors.
And it's my favorite price to get in.
It is free.
Yeah, that's my favorite price.
It is free for those that are coming to check out all the vendors. Yeah. Not free for the vendors. Sorry, guys. There's booth fees, but
that's fine.
But yeah, we're not charging anyone to come in and actually meet and greet our vendors. We want them to come in and have the opportunity to make connections. So yeah, and we're excited for it. So it's 2 days, April 5th and 6th, Saturday, Sunday. It is from 10 to 4 on Saturday, and I think noon to 6 on Sunday. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to go.
Yeah, and you can sign up, like I said, you can register online to be a vendor at cvabc.org. So we've got that. Also for March, if you're a business that's been listening in, you're looking at maybe being a member. You're thinking, hey, I should join the CVABC, because you should. We are going to have our March membership drive going on this month. So that's for, new members. It's maybe for members that maybe you had to stop your membership for a while, and, whether it was financial reasons or maybe you were tweaking your job and, kind of trying to figure out your business. You can rejoin for a we've got some giveaways, and we'll have like a little reduced price. So lots of good opportunities there if you want. And then we're also going to be doing in honor of International Women's Day on the 8th of March. We are going to be putting out, so Friday the 7th and then Saturday the 8th, to anyone out there that is looking to be a part of our Empower Women series. We will have a discount code for you to get a discount on your tickets for that event on the 7th and 8th in honor of International Women's Day.
Awesome.
There's a lot of stuff. I feel like I can talk forever. We got too much stuff. But, we also have a guest, so probably I shouldn't talk forever. But I got lots of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
That is a lot of good stuff. So everyone should take advantage of it. Check it out. And as always, if you have questions, please reach out to me. You can always reach out to Heather at cvabc.org. Contact me if you have anything that I can help you out with as far as our organization goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great organization to be a part of.
Yeah, now I'm tired. I'm going to let Mike take over the rest of the show.
There you go. So we'll dig into it and not just stay around the perimeter and find out more about our guest today.
Yeah.
So that joke was going to have to come back.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to bring that one.
Yeah, yep. Definitely. So it's the man with all there is. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
The man with all there is.
If you haven't seen their TikTok,
this is the best ever. I
TikTok
loved it.
Right now. Search Perimeter Roofing and watch it. It's hilarious.
It's going viral.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're saying.
There's millions of views.
Yeah, millions.
Not likes, but views.
Right.
It is brilliant. Let me just say it was brilliant because I loved it. And then of course, like I showed it to my 13-year-old. She's like, "Oh my God, Mom, Like, what? I'm like, yeah, now you're going to show it to your friends just so you can be like, oh my gosh, look what these people are doing. And so then it carries on.
It sounded like we knew what we were talking about.
It did.
Right. For most of it did.
Yeah.
There
was a couple things.
Yeah,
my daughter was like, hey, I think that was out of context, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I know
you
guys are old and
it actually makes it better.
I know you guys are old.
Right. So it makes it better when you use it just a little bit wrong. And then it's like, yeah, we're not
exactly
really trying to be cool.
It goes with the whole spoof idea.
It does.
Right?
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll use my daughter will say something. I'll be like, no cap to her. And, I can use that pretty well in a sentence. And, that's sus because sus. Everyone.
When I send emails to our team internally every once in a while, I'll sign it Slay, Mike North.
Slay.
Yeah. The irony is that we use cap in roofing.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's like a basic material. And so I said no cap. So, it was sort of an oxymoron there.
I didn't even think about that, but that is funny. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. So tell us more about what, for people who don't know, what perimeter roofing and
exteriors. Yeah.
Perimeter roofing.
I was like, I know I'm going to get the last word wrong. Tell me more about what you guys do.
Yeah. So, one, I'm excited about the home show. We're going to be there.
Yes, they are.
And I didn't know there was going to be karaoke on the stage.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to do karaoke. Ooh, we should though.
Should we?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Good karaoke time.
And, you were talking about free stuff. And I think maybe Perimeter should give away something really cool.
That would be cool.
Like, what do you guys think? What should we give away?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, should it be a roof? Should it be a gutter system?
Oh, wow. That's really big. That's really cool.
A roof would be good as long as I can pick the winner.
Oh, okay.
Because I would like to have a new roof.
So what should we do here? Like, how many people are we expecting to come to the home show?
I don't know.
I'm really hoping, being that we haven't had one in this area for a really long time. I'm really hoping to see a good amount of people driving in. I also think the allure of having it at River Ridge is that people are already going, there. They're shopping, they're being a part of it. And so I'm hoping that even just having those people that, even if they show up and don't know, oh, there's a home show, that, they'll still kind of walk in. But, I'm definitely hoping for a lot. That's all I can say. I don't know, hundreds, thousands, as many as we can push through the doors.
This home show is for anybody who owns a home, right?
Right.
So that's a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So they need to be coming out. And I guess we could have people like over at TJ Maxx and Planet Fitness, like saying, hey, you need to go to the home show.
Yes.
Yep.
And we're going to be putting up like those promotional signs throughout the mall that says like home show this way. So when people are on other ends, they'll be able to come through. It'll be
for
easier
people
to
like me who
find.
go to find a store at the mall and I get turned around every single time and just end up walking the entire mall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you're exactly right though. Everyone who owns a home, or even if, let's say, you're renting somewhere, but your parents own a home, or you don't want to wait till the last minute to get something fixed. And I think that people, coming by a home show, you can be proactive.
Right.
Even if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't need anything right now. Well, okay, great. Good for you. You don't need anything right now. But when we have a bad storm and all the shingles blow off the top of your roof and you need a roofer, you can go back and go, oh, I met Philip, I met Perimeter.
And I'm hard to forget, so they would remember me.
Yeah. Right. So, I need to go back and check with them, or when my gutters are clogged up and falling off the side of my house, or, all those things, or you're sick of gutter. Like, I need to have somebody like my dad. He's too old to get up anymore and clean out the gutters. Like, he just can't anymore. So we've been telling him that he needs to get one of those systems that has, I don't know what they're called, but you know what I mean? They have like the top.
You talking about the gutter guards?
Yes, those things. Like, we need something like that for him. So even though my dad's probably not going to make it out to the home show, I'm going to be there. So like, I can still get information, for family members and whatnot. So
the cool part, I'm glad you brought that up, because we're actually introducing brand new technology in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually rolling out a new product.
Mm-hmm.
It's built in or made in North America. So it's American made.
Okay.
And it is a new gutter system. And it's almost got like a vortex technology in it to where it actually sucks the water into the gutter.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a vacuum.
Right.
So you get more water into the gutter and less splashing out in places you don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a lifetime guarantee. So it's a brand new product. We're going to be rolling it out at the home show.
Oh, very neat.
And I think that we should give away a free system.
I think that sounds
that
good.
would be really cool. And I think you should also maybe I'll put you on the spot, like sign up to do one of the the things on the stage, like a
karaoke.
No, not the karaoke, but like one of the presentations. Like have you guys maybe get up there and do like a 30-minute presentation on here's what this system even looks like.
Yeah. Right.
So people can come and see. So I know we're trying to do like a half-hour presentation, like every not every single half hour. We're not going to have it going, but we'll probably have one at like 11:30 and then again at 12:30 and then at 1:30, like every hour have a presentation going for some, to some degree. I know we have like the Lynchburg Home Builders Association is going to be doing like a few things. I think we've talked to somebody about, a beekeeper is coming to talk about like how bees help pollinate your yard and like things like that. So fun things that people
maybe
can
Mike could
learn.
do like a segment on dad jokes. I heard you're really good at dad jokes.
Yeah, I am.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've been a dad for a while now.
Dad jokes.
So
yeah,
come
got
to
26.
I have like maybe one or two jokes we could throw in there.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Definitely.
We could like tag team.
I like it.
Okay.
But that would be really neat. And I think, I hate to say it, but when you have really good giveaways and stuff, people are more apt to come out and see what they can get. And, we're going to have, of course, you're going to be able to walk around and talk to the vendors and pick up information. And I've heard potential, now don't quote me, but I think Davis Heating, Cooling, and Electrical is going to bring back the money machine they had 5 years ago, where you can get in the money machine and they have like the cash flying everywhere. They did it back when we did this 5 years ago, and people really loved it. You could get in there and win some stuff.
So what do? Try to shove as much money in your pocket as possible?
Yeah, you try and shove as much money.
Okay, that's cool.
And then I think they have like gift certificates that are blowing around.
Is this Monopoly money or real money?
I don't remember. I think people want some real money, but I don't know how it actually worked. I don't know if like you had to collect so much. I'm not sure how it went, but I know Richard's looking at bringing that back.
That'd be
awesome
for the show, which would be really cool.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
I wonder. Hopefully, I fit in that.
It's like a big photo booth, like a big phone booth thing. Like,
Yeah.
You might have to duck a little bit.
It's cool. I'm used to
that issue.
Yeah. In old homes, like when I
don't have that issue.
It's tough in old homes, when you're tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got scars to prove it.
Yeah. My son's like 6'3" and hits his head quite a bit. So
yeah, a lot of people, they're like, oh, it'd be so cool to be tall. And I'm like, yeah, well, there are some disadvantages.
Mm-hmm.
I can reach things in the grocery store for people. But
But when I fly, I always have extra leg room.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm eating the seat in front of me.
Right.
Yeah. It's just one of the things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still thankful. I still, I keep the right attitude.
That's right.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
You got to keep it up there in the sky.
Yeah. Hey, so I've got one more thing. I don't know if I should share because it's the big reveal at the home show.
Ooh.
So we just went to an expo last year in Atlantic City,
mm-hmm.
and they revealed a brand new state-of-the-art upgraded solar shingle.
Oh, yeah.
Solar shingle.
Okay. So GAF is the largest shingle manufacturer and distributor in the country. And they're the ones who actually invented the architectural laminated shingle.
Yeah.
Which was what you're seeing being sold all over the place.
Right.
So they came out with a solar shingle about 5 years ago, and they've had some success with it, but they've actually upgraded it, and they just rolled out their brand new solar shingle, and we are the exclusive installer for that product in this area.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And so, in comparison to like a normal, your traditional solar panel where you have to install racks on the existing roofing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues that we're seeing pop up now is, homeowners having to buy two different systems, right? They have to buy a roof and then they have to buy a solar system.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what ends up happening is a lot of these solar companies are going out of business. Many, many of them have gone out of business. And so the homeowner's left stuck with all their issues.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Doesn't that put holes in your roof potentially,
Yes.
right? Where they're putting this in. Yeah.
So they're putting holes in the roof. They're supposed to be flashing those legs that are going on the roof deck, but a lot of those guys aren't roofers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it ends up having problems.
Right.
And so with the GAF solar shingle system, you only have to buy one system and you're getting the same benefit. In fact, you're actually getting more benefit because the cool part is you get a 30% federal tax credit on anything that's solar installed on your roof.
Right.
And so now a homeowner can actually get a new roof with the solar shingles and write off the entire bill on their tax. They get 30% on the whole thing.
Right.
So plus it opens up doors for special financing that you can only get with solar. You've got your state credits. You get discounts on your actually on your property tax. You get discounts on your property tax in Virginia if you have solar system.
Okay.
So there's all these benefits that a homeowner will get.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of homeowners are, maybe questioning or why they haven't taken the leap into solar is because they don't know how long the panels are going to last.
Right.
I'm making this big investment, but what happens if the system fails in 10 years?
Right.
And because the break even on the investment is around 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the cool part about the GAF system is GAF, which is a multi-billion-dollar company, is backing that system guaranteed for 25 years. Not only the workmanship of the install, but also that it will work and generate the electricity for 25 straight years. Okay. And there's no other system out there that can beat that warranty.
Right. Wow. That's really neat because I know my parents had looked into solar a while back and they were just like, oh, we just, we can't afford it. We couldn't make it work. And I think you're right. It was because it was a lot of, they had to do the roof and then they had to put solar on. Yep. And then, and of course they're both older. So they didn't really kind of understand the workings of like, how is solar going to,
how is this going to save us money?
Yeah.
But I think that would definitely be something, even as like, let's just say like as their daughter looking at the fact that eventually when they pass away, I'm going to be selling the house. Like I'm going to have to do a lot of the things. Is it better to make that investment so that, we're getting the credits now, we're getting all that taken care of.
Yeah. So here's the cool part. So let me just kind of use an example. So let's say you need a new roof and that roof's going to cost you $15,000. Okay. If you add solar to that system and let's say it bumps it up to $25,000, right? It's an extra $10,000 for the solar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, when you get your 30% federal tax credit, you're really only paying maybe $18,000 for the roof and the solar because you're getting that credit back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Then on top of that, you have to think of the savings that you're getting long-term on your electric bill. Everybody knows that their electric bill is creeping up, right?
Don't remember.
Right. It's going up and up and up, and it's slated to go up consistently, right? And people may not know why that's going up, but it's because of all the laws that got passed where they're requiring the electric companies to move towards, solar fields and wind tunnels, things like that. So they're having to invest all this money to convert away from the traditional form of electricity.
Right.
And all those costs, they're just passing along to their existing customers.
Right.
And that's why everything's going up because they're mandated to change the way that they're producing electricity. So we're paying for it. So if you want to take control of your electricity costs, you go solar. What ends up happening is, let's say your electric bill is $250. Okay. What you're doing is you're then getting a loan for your roof and your solar shingle system. If you need to, right. You definitely want to consider it because the rates are so great and there's special rates that the state has allowed for this type of system because they want to give homeowners a lot of reasons to switch.
Right.
And so then you're basically trading your $250 electric bill payment for a $250, loan payment, right? Your electric bill may drop to $15-$20 because the electric company still charges just to be tied to the grid.
Mm-hmm,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then what happens is over the next even 5 years, your electric bill would have probably been $350, but you're still paying your $250 bill on your loan for the system. And over time, you're going to save thousands of dollars in electricity costs over the life of that system.
Right.
So
especially if it's going to last 25 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
To the savings add up.
Yeah,
quite a bit over time.
Yeah, and part of it is, as a homeowner, a lot of times we see these numbers being shown to us for whatever. As a homeowner, these manufacturers or these resellers or whatever, if somebody's pitching something to us and the numbers look too good to be true, then we just assume, oh, yeah, that's a scam.
Right.
That's not a thing. Okay. But if you put these numbers on paper, because math doesn't lie, if you put it on paper and the numbers are accurate and you look at how much you're saving, you're like, there's no way I'm going to save that much money. But you are actually saving a ton of money. Over time, you are going to be, and of course, as most of us are instant gratification. But this is an investment that people really need to consider, because in the long haul, you're going to be happy you did it. It's kind of like when, when I was in my early 20s, I had this guy said, hey, you need to buy these college funds for your kids. Well, I didn't have any kids yet. Right. So I said no. And looking back, I'm like, dang it, I should have done that. I would have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars in tuition, but I didn't do it. And so it's like, if people, we're trying to limit the number of regrets that we have, right?
Right.
So you want to at least come to the home show and see what options are going to be there, especially with this new system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say how well you present all the information? I deal with some people that come in and like they're talking about what they do, and it's just kind of like, I listen and I hear, but you do a very good job of presenting your product and like being knowledgeable about it versus just like, oh yeah, we do this, but not really go into the depth of why you do it. Like, I just want to say, like, I've been sitting here just like listening, like, wow, I understand what you're saying, and that's really cool. But how does that work with metal roofing? Like, if so, would they just have to take the metal roof on these shingles, just take that place, or?
So if great question. If you have a metal roof, we would have to use a different product, and you'd use a traditional solar panel.
Gotcha.
Where then essentially they clip. So if you have, there's a couple different types of metal roofing panels. Mm-hmm. If you have a standing seam panel where basically we call them little legs, right? But it's the seams that stick up. Essentially, there's clips that clip onto that, and then your frames attached to that with the solar panels. Okay. So yeah, those are definitely options.
Yeah, I'm asking for a friend whose electric bill was $180 and went up to $500 and something. Ooh, and I'm that friend, so I need to know.
And I would say, I remember, because I'm one of those guys, I'm going to ask the tough questions to the manufacturers and like, hey, if you can't sell me on this product and I don't understand why I would want it, I'm not going to offer it to anybody else.
How am I going to sell something I don't believe in?
Exactly.
Right.
And so when I went to the expo last week, I was asking tough questions. I was trying to prove to them that their system wasn't as good as like maybe traditional solar panels. Mm-hmm. And they proved me wrong. In fact, I had one of those like, paradigm shifts that it was like, it was amazing. I walked away and thinking, man, that guy's good. He knows what he's talking about.
Right.
And so I was looking at it from the perspective of comparing a solar shingle apples to apples with a traditional solar panel. Because what the guys who are selling the traditional solar panels will say is, oh, well, our traditional solar panels are better than solar shingles. It produces more energy. Mm-hmm. And, it's going to, well, of course, they're going to say, we're going to back it with some sort of warranty. But ultimately, they're also going to say that solar shingles are more expensive. Well, this new solar shingle produces about almost the same amount of electricity as a traditional panel. Okay. The two benefit, well, there's really three benefits. One is you're not having to buy two systems. Mm-hmm. You're going to get your roof and your solar shingle in one system. So your liability goes down. Two, oh shoot, I forgot what the other ones were. So the second one is, oh my gosh, my brain just went blank. So you were like, hey, Philip, you're doing such a great job.
Like, look how knowledgeable he is. I jinxed him. Sorry.
Down.
Dang it.
So the other one was, okay, two systems. You're getting one system with the solar shingle. Two is you open up the door for the special financing. And it looks better. Right? Yeah. It looks better, right? So, I have a neighbor who has solar panels on the front of his house, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that, right. and so it's like aesthetically, I think if you're trying to resell your home, you do want to think about aesthetics. Like, right. You want to think about curb appeal. And when you're installing any kind of solar panel or shingle on your home, ideally you want to install it on the back of the house, not on the front.
Right.
But you have to install solar on a south-facing slope because you've got to get the sunlight.
Right.
Right. And so if you want to install solar, if you have to install solar on the front of your home, you're going to want solar shingles, not solar panels, because it's going to look way better. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking about solar and you're coming to the home show, which you should, you need to come and check out this panel.
Yeah.
You need to at least see it, because we're actually going to have somebody from GAF come in who's an expert, and they've never done it before. But I basically solicited them pretty hard at the GAF Expo and said, hey, you have to come to this home show. So they're coming.
Awesome. Well, and I also think it would be a good idea for people that are looking to build a home. Like maybe you don't have a home yet, but you're getting ready to build, or contractors that are building like all these places, come out and see. Like, I would think that would bring added value to just do it from the jump, like to go ahead and put something like that in versus, waiting and things like that. So it's also a good opportunity for those people that are, looking to build or, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say, if you already have a brand new roof and you don't have GAF shingles, we cannot install a GAF solar shingle on an existing different branded shingle system.
Okay.
So there are some limitations, right, with their system because there's not a lot of different manufacturers out there in terms of shingle manufacturers, but, a lot of those, some shingles are different sizes than others. They have just different heights, different widths, things like that.
Right.
And so this is an actual solar shingle.
Okay.
And, it fits the GAF system. So if you already have, if you're not planning on getting a new roof, you're probably going to want to go with a panel. But if you're looking to get a new roof and you also are interested in solar, this is the way to go.
Okay. And how much, like what kind of maintenance and stuff do these panels take? Like
no maintenance.
So once you put them in, they just kind of.
Yeah. They're there. Yeah. So part of the new technology that they came out with is that they're extremely durable. So even the installers can walk on them when they're installing them. They're that tough.
Okay.
Now, if you take a hammer and pound it, it could break.
Right.
Right. That's not what they're made for. But these solar shingles are installed the exact same way a traditional shingle's installed, with nails.
Really?
Yep. It's got like a nail strip and everything, but it has its own flashing built into the solar, basically panel.
Right.
And so I got to hold one and touch it and see it and feel it. And I got to see like a display, and it looked really nice.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So
that's exciting.
So where the question just went right out of my head. I was going to ask something about
it's contagious.
About the shingle just going right on the roof. But so I was going to say, does that have the same potential for like when you have big windstorms or things like people worry about stuff ripping off their roof? Is there a potential for that, or are they heavier or?
So they're installed very well. Great question. Of course, all the new shingle manufacturers have a high wind rating. They also have, shingle manufacturers have come a long way in terms of technology.
Right.
So a lot of them are having, like for high impact for hail, right? They're just built tough.
Okay.
Okay. I think manufacturers are starting to get smart to build better products so that homeowners can have a product that is going to stick to their home.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with anything, if you get super high winds, tornadoes, hurricanes, things like that, which I know we don't get a lot here in Central Virginia, but, any product is going to have some sort of impact depending on the type of winds that you get. Okay. And, I learned something new, actually. So one of the talks that they shared at the expo, they talked about wind uplift. So wind uplift essentially is how much wind, or how does the wind impact roofing? Because as you know, the higher elevation that you are, the wind actually increases. So what ends up happening if, let's say there's 50 mile an hour winds in Lynchburg. That's what they're calling for on the weather, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're getting 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. When that wind comes off, when it hits the side of your home, it shoots up and then follows the curvature of your property. And by the time it hits your roof, it's doubled in speed. So if you have 50 to 60 mile an hour winds on the ground, they're 100 to 120 miles an hour, 2 and 3 stories up once it hits your home. Mm. So what ends up happening is that's why you have a lot of damage at higher elevations. So like if we're putting on a roof and it's 14 stories, like a big commercial building, you have to have, there's different specs that you have to follow for what's called wind uplift. Otherwise, the wind can just rip the roof right off.
I'm going to sound so smart when I go home and tell my husband all these things. Like, I'm just going to know I'm going to have all the knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did not know that.
Yeah. So again, homeowners, like some shingle manufacturers, pretty much every shingle manufacturer now guarantees their roof will stay intact at 130 miles an hour worth of wind. So if you have 70 mile an hour winds, well, by the time it hits your roof, it could be up to 140. Mm-hmm. Okay. Homeowners might say, well, there was only 70-mile-an-hour winds. Well, my roof shouldn't have blown off. Well, actually it was 140 because it doubles by the time it hits the roof.
Okay. Yeah, I would not have thought that. I'd have been that person. I'd have been it was only 70-mile-an-hour winds. How did this happen? And I would have known. So we're going to cut to a quick commercial. Woody, you on your feet over there? You ready? He's like,
always
no,
ready.
I'm just taking a nap.
Always ready.
I'm just kidding.
Is it a Perimeter Roofing commercial?
It is a Perimeter.
Man, I was going to surprise you.
It is.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut to a quick commercial, and then we're gonna come back and chat with Philip a little bit more about. I want to talk a little bit more about the exteriors portion of Perimeter Roofing and Exteriors.
Thinking about upgrading your home? Hello, I'm Philip Pantana. Whether you want a modern kitchen, a stunning bathroom, a sturdy deck, or even a brand new addition, our company, Perimeter Remodeling and Restoration, can make it happen. From quick interior repairs to full-scale renovations, homeowners trust us for expert craftsmanship and excellent service, always delivered with the care you deserve. Schedule your free consultation now at perimeterva.com. Call or text 434-515-2868.
Man,
that was good.
Whoa, what company is that? That sounds different than
good.
mine.
A little jingle behind it, like the music jamming, like it was good.
Yeah.
I thought it sounded great.
So that was Perimeter Remodeling and Restoration.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Is that real, Woody?
that's a real thing.
Oh my gosh.
I think I've heard murmurs.
That sounded just like me too.
Yeah.
It did.
Great voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Got a voice for radio.
So maybe we should explain that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So we launched a different division within the company. You know, when you're in roofing, right, the roofing is designed to protect the rest of the home.
Right.
What ends up happening is homeowners end up having roofing issues that result in different repairs.
Right.
Interior, exterior, wind can blow off siding. And obviously people are always looking to improve the efficiency of their home. So whether it's new windows, whether it's keeping water away from, damaging the property, you need a good gutter system. So we're offering all those things. And we've got a great team of people that help us install great products. So the remodeling and restoration side of the business really was born out of my connection with a guy by the name of Alec Gilman. He ran his own company here in town for about 10 years doing just that. And I brought him on and we've rolled it out and we're helping a lot of people put their homes back together. So we're a one-stop shop basically.
Well, and I really think that that's a good way to go. I mean, I know you started out with the roofing, but I think it's hard for people nowadays when they're trying to utilize so many different contractors and trying to keep, just up to date with who should I use for this and who should I use for this. And then,
right.
I'm having to file this for this insurance, this and this. And I mean, when you have one business that you can trust to come in and just do everything, it makes it a lot easier on the homeowner itself, or, on their family that's having to, work with the contractors that are coming in. You don't have to worry about this, this, and this.
Right. And we talked at the top of the show too about how it's hard to get contractors because there's a long lead time for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And so if you've got one company, they're able to kind of get it in there all at the same time, a little easier.
Well, yeah.
Trying to coordinate, like you can't come because they're working on the roof. Like, we can't have them, get in each other's way, things like that. But if it's all one company, you guys will coordinate that among your teams. So
we will.
And let's be honest, and I swear I'm not going to get on my soapbox because Mike and Woody hear me get on it. But there are a lot of contractors that they're not even contractors. Okay, let's just put it out there. My brother Joe ain't going to, you don't want him coming up and fixing your roof or doing your gutters or, writing contracts on napkins and such. You want them to be able to come in, do the job, know their license, know they're insured, feel comfortable with who you're dealing with. And there are a lot of companies out there that, going back to these recommendation pages, that they're just not that. And people are getting scammed and they're getting issues. So
right.
Knowing that you can go to a reputable company like Phillips, then you're not going to get that. You're right. Getting people that they're licensed, they're insured, they do the job, they've done their research, they're knowledgeable about their products and all the things. So
yeah, and if you're going to have a company come out, you want to have an award-winning company.
I feel that too.
Yeah,
I feel that too.
Yeah.
Are we award-winning?
Yeah, well, I mean,
You did.
You are. You're a win. You're a award
I'm a
winner.
winner.
You're a winner.
Yeah.
No, I will say, but that is one of the reasons. Like when we were looking at that award, so as some of you know, we held our annual business awards dinner this past Friday, and we presented Philip with the Michael Grant Leadership Award. And so Michael Grant in our area, for those who are in the Lynchburg area, ran Michael's Carpet World, and was a huge supporter of our organization. But he was a big supporter of the community, but he was also very, big in growing his company, and he took risks, and he made changes, and he did things for the betterment of his employees and, the area. And so when as staff, we were sitting around and we vote ourselves on a couple of different awards. And that being one of them, we were like, okay, well, who's getting the Michael Grant Leadership Award this year? And, we sat and we talked about it, and I said, I really feel like Philip kind of embodies all of that this year, because I've seen how you've grown. I've seen how you've changed the company. And even when we go and we talk, I can hear just the passion you have for the business, but then also the community. You're a big supporter of ours, but you always ask me, how can we get more involved? Like, how can we do this? And I think that just shows a strong leader, hence our Michael Grant Leadership Award win.
Yeah.
And you're in good company because I won the first one.
Yeah.
Those
Michael did.
ago.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mike won the Mike Grant Award.
That means we can hang out now.
Yeah.
We can.
So now you can be friends.
We can.
Yeah, we can be friends.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
Well,
if Woody comes to things, maybe I'll hear more about what he does.
I want to be in the club.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you got to come to things.
Yeah, you got to come to the banquet, bro.
got to be there. But yeah.
Well,
so
I do want to say thank you. I mean, I was very surprised. I was not expecting it. I almost didn't make it.
I know when she told me you weren't
And-
coming, I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
I know. And of course, there was no cell phone coverage where we were at. So I texted her, I was like, hey, I'm coming, but she didn't know. So I
Right.
just showed up. So that was kind of cool,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to surprise my wife, and I did it that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just really cool. When you called my name, I was like, oh my gosh. And so it felt like a very prestigious award, and I was just very humbled and honored to
Yeah, it
receive
was
it.
when I wanted it was a surprise too, and it was like I told her afterwards, I'm like, I hate you because you caught me off guard. Like
Yeah.
I was emotional about it. It was like this is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Didn't think wasn't even on my radar. So
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, well, with a lot of the other awards, you've been nominated. So you're sitting there,
Right.
you're thinking, oh, okay, but, with the three that we do, I mean, we generally sit down and put some thought into it. Like who, if we're going to put our name on it, if we're going to say, here's who we want that we think is deserving of this award, like, it's not, I don't just draw out of a hat, like, here we go, this is the winner. But we really do. We sit down and we toss the ideas around and we put out there, like, why is this person, deserving? And, both of you guys, when you won, I mean, y'all definitely.
Wasn't she throwing shade there? Like,
No, what?
like when you won, but not now.
Yeah.
No, like when you won back a couple years
right.
ago, and now when
Yeah.
he won this year, it's we genuinely sit back and say, hey, these guys are deserving of it.
Yeah. So who won the other awards in between these years?
So I won. Our office won Small Business of the Year 2025.
So we've only been doing the Michael Grant Leadership Award for 3 years. He passed away 3 years ago. So
Okay.
Mike won it the first year. Last year we gave it to D.W. Lawhorn. He is
right.
the
He was the town.
He was the town public works here in Bedford. He ran
Okay.
the town's public works department, and then now he's the assistant administrator in Bedford County.
Okay.
So he won it just because, I mean, that man, there's no end to the things he has done for our
Right.
organization, for the community. So
Yeah.
he won that the second year, and so you are our
Cool.
third year recipient of that award.
Well, we'll have to reach out to him.
Yeah.
We'll have to all do lunch.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
We'll,
awesome.
we'll get Woody's card and go.
Yeah.
Because Woody
absolutely.
would come, but he doesn't go out in public. So
That's cool.
Just
Woody, I guess you can come.
He's like, I'm not talking to you.
we could go eat at the Blue Lady who won the Roland K. Peters
Yeah, he did.
award.
And he called me yesterday, and he was just like, Heather, I've never been so shocked in my life
Right, that was
to win that award.
that was a perfect, like it was a great choice
For
for that
Mhm.
award. Yeah.
It was. So I
Yeah.
thought it was a great event.
It was a great event.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I had to run out real fast, which I am going to have to run out of. I may have to leave here a little bit before you guys get done, or if we wrap it up. My dad was taken to the hospital. Some of y'all may know, but he's got a hospice appointment and a pulmonology appointment. I got to make it to by 1:30, so I'm going to run out and do all the things. And it's never ending for me because then my daughter broke her finger over the weekend.
Oh my gosh.
I've been to Lynchburg General. I've been to Bedford Memorial. I've been to Ortho. I've been all over the place. It's been fun. Lots of fun. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Well, as as our parents get older, I experienced that too last year.
Mhm.
My dad passed away. And so it's like one of those things that everybody goes through.
Mhm.
Right.
and it's part of life.
Yep.
And what's crazy is you go through these things and life doesn't stop, right? Like you still got to keep going, and press in, and eventually you get over, the grief. And
And that's one of the things that's why I've mentioned a couple of times about like just even being knowledgeable about things like this for your loved ones, because you're going to take on all of that at some point in your life, and that's what I'm kind of dealing with. It's like, how do we make sure, even if my dad passes and my mom's there, we want to make sure all of her stuff is working correctly. She's not going to know anything about roofing and HVAC and
that's what we're dealing with now,
things like that. Like
my mom as well. Like, she's like, oh, well, I don't know how to do this because your dad did that. And it's like, well, let me figure it out. Like we had to learn where the main water shut off valve was, so that because we had a leak, and it's like, I don't know where that is. Like, so different things like that. So,
So that's why, I want personally to work with someone that is trusted and can, will do a good job, because, that's your family, and, you just want to make sure it's done good.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very fortunate to have some great people working for Perimeter, and I would say I trust everybody in the company that they're going to represent us well, and they're integral. They genuinely want to help people. And we're not a perfect company. We sometimes will make mistakes and things, but we're committed to making sure that if we make a mistake, we're going to make it right. We want to make sure we finish well with every customer. And so I feel like we have done a very good job at that.
Yeah. I don't ever judge a company by if they make a mistake. I judge them based on how they handle that mistake.
Yeah.
Right. We make mistakes, it happens, nothing catastrophic because we deal with seniors.
Yeah.
Like, so we're not like leaving anybody hurt or anything like that. But every once in a while, like we may have a clock in that gets missed or something, and we misbill something. We make sure we take care of it like right away, typically same day. So, it's important to me that, I always say the only thing you can't buy more of is reputation. Right. So you got to protect your reputation at any cost. So it's, you fix it and make it right. So
even us award-winning leaders make mistakes, right?
We do.
Yeah. Like it's funny, it happens every time. It's the way that God keeps me humble, but it's like, I'll see employees making errors along the way, and then I'll make a dumb error, and I'll be like, oh yeah, well, it's just a human thing, it just happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just reminds you like, hey, we're all on the same journey, figuring it out. And it's why we have to learn to cultivate that grace to give to folks. And, but like you said, there is an expectation that we need to have that a contractor is professional, knows what they're doing, and is competent, and it requires to understand construction. And a lot of it just comes from experience, seeing the mistakes or issues and solving those issues. And I've had the opportunity to help a lot of folks fix a lot of issues. And so I've learned a few things along the way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I'm still doing repairs. I'm still out there getting my hands dirty.
Right.
I just fixed a couple roofs yesterday.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
Well, and I like, and I think that's awesome too, that you actually still go out in the field, and you're not just like, oh, I'm behind the desk now, and I don't do anything. There's a lot of times like I'll have, called over there, and they're like, oh, Philip's out and he's doing, out in the field.
Doing my thing, right?
Yeah. He's not just, he's not just sitting behind the desk when I get there, playing games on his computer or something like that,
Oh, no.
Right.
No time for games.
Yeah. Yeah. More often than not, I'm there before he is. And they're like, Philip's on the way. He had to go deal with this. He had to go deal with that, So,
and since you won the leadership award, I'll just bring up that a leader does not mean that you just tell other people what to do. You've got to show by example as well. And so you going out there and being like, hey, I'm out there fixing the roof. And, somebody today who's like grumbling because they're working and it's raining.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I go out there too.
I have gotten more feedback from my employees that they appreciate the fact that I'm in the trenches. Because what ends up happening is leaders lose touch with what's actually happening in the field and what people are dealing with.
Yep.
And I'm able, because I'm in the field and I enjoy it, I'm able to keep in touch with what's going on. So like yesterday, I was with two of my guys and we worked on a roof for 4 hours yesterday, fixing some issues on a roof, and we got it all done, and we feel really good about it. And the customer's happy. And so, yeah, it's just, it is good if you have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And again, there are some leaders out there who may not have the mechanical, like they're just not skilled mechanically to do those kinds of things. So I do think that there is a role for a leader to delegate well, and they can work from, behind a desk and still maintain respect. But I think it can be sometimes more challenging to keep in touch with what's going on with folks. Because if an employee feels like that they know more than you, in what they're doing, it can be a disadvantage to the leader to lead them and have influence.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Now you have a podcast, right?
Yeah,
that you're
we
doing
do.
here with Woody.
Yeah.
How can people listen to that and learn more about what you do, aside from just, what you're hearing here?
Yeah. So we have a monthly podcast. You can access it on our website, which is perimeterroofingva.com. You can also, I believe it's available on, what's it available on?
GroveStreet.fm.
Grove Street FM,
Spotify.
Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all the platforms.
Yeah. All the things.
Every one of them.
We're out there. So yeah, we'd love for you to listen in. We talk about a variety of products. We try to make it fun and engaging. And so we're still new at it, but I feel like we're starting to get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, so we're getting ready to, I think we're having our podcast later today, and we're going to be talking about a hodgepodge of things.
Okay.
I love a hodgepodge.
Oh yeah. It's my favorite meal.
Me too. That's what I was going to say, actually. So it's leftover night.
Exactly. Yes. And I know some people don't like leftovers, but these everybody likes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like leftovers. Now, my dad won't touch them, but I love them. Now you just mentioned your website. How can someone, if they're listening in today, get a hold of you, or get a hold of Perimeter Roofing and Exteriors and have them come out, whether it's for an estimate or they have an issue?
Absolutely. So you can text or call 434-515-2868. I always mess up the phone number. 434-515-2868.
All right.
Fantastic. So we ask every guest that comes on the podcast 2 questions. So the first question is, how long have you been part of the Central Virginia Business Coalition?
I have been, let's see, what has it been? 3-4 years now?
Yeah.
What do you think is the greatest benefit of being a member of the CVABC?
So, I feel like it's been an evolution over the years. I think, compared to first year, I didn't, like with any organization, it takes time because you have to engage as a business, right?
100%. Yep.
And so you can be a member and not get the benefit out of it if you don't know what's actually going on.
Right.
And so I I decided to be intentional, specifically even more so than we have been this year, to say, hey, I want to try to engage with as much stuff that's happening with CVABC as I can. And so we just sent out a company-wide email yesterday about the Putt-Putt fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And as a company, we're going to pay for as many 4 teams as people, as our employees will come out. We want them to engage with that. So I think it's just a matter of making a commitment and saying, hey, we believe in this. We want to be a part of it. And so, I think if you want to play, you got to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's for me, that's it. You got to be intentional about taking advantage of all the opportunities. You can give your money to CVABC, but if you're not showing up, you're not going to get really the best, the benefit out of it.
Right.
Best
this
answer
is an organization where
ever.
you pay the yearly fee and then don't show up and be like, I didn't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't put anything into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, you've got to come to the networking events and come to the awards dinners and different things like that. You've got to be engaged with it and make connections and network. Mm-hmm. So it's important.
Yeah. And we had a great, Philip and I had a great meeting. And one of the things I loved is he had his calendar. He's like, let's put it on there now. Let's every single date. If I knew the date, he wanted it and it was on the calendar and it was ready to go. And I loved it. I walked out of there yes, he really did want to become involved. And it wasn't just hey, Heather, here's my money and I'll see you in 12 months or whatever.
And also thank you for being a sponsor as well, because our organization could not run without sponsors.
Yes. And this is
Visiting Angels.
Yeah, and Perimeter Roofing, this is their second year being our premier sponsor, our major sponsor. So a lot of the things that we do, of course, all of our sponsors, of course, are important and factor into that. But, our premier sponsors really do give us a lot to work with and be able to offer. So, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Yep. And thank you for coming on the show with us today. I know we usually have 2 guests, but we knew we really wanted to talk with Philip about all the things that they had going on. And we were like, we can make a whole show of this. And we did. We probably could keep going, honestly.
Probably could.
So we'll have to have you back and
absolutely.
chat more. But yeah, look out for more information about the home show and the giveaways. We'll put up some more about the system that Philip's going to be giving away. And if you have any questions about any of the information that we've talked about today for CVABC, or if you want to find out more about Perimeter, you can actually find their information on our website too. If you go to
cvabc.org. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Wednesday.